Hello there. Today, I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite topics, which is joy. You know what? In a world where we are increasingly feeling burned out and uncertain about, are we going to get served at a restaurant? Are they going to be open or closed? When there's so much chaos and overwhelm that's happening around in the world, even a lot of fear and sadness. That's a lot of emotion to take in, right? That's a lot to deal with on a day-to-day basis, right? And so it's really easy to lose your vibrancy, to feel really disconnected from your joy. So I want to share with you today why it is absolutely essential for you to make it a priority, right? To find even the little ways to have some joy in your day, in your business, and in your life, and how it really will make all the difference in your business. So we're going to talk more about that today. All right. Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here for this next episode of Joyful Business TV, talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart because I was in a situation where I had lost a lot of my joy. That's where I started my own business and things started turning around. So I'm Laura West. I'm the host of Joyful Business TV. I am an intuitive business coach at the Center for Joyful Business and joyfulbusiness.com. So for over 20 years, I have been working with lots of successful coaches, healers, creatives, conscious business owners of all types, probably like you, right? Who are wanting to put their soul work, right? Their purpose, their gifts out into the world in a much bigger way so that you can help more people, you can make more money, and you can keep on doing the work that you love to do. All right. And I know that part of having a joyful business is that you use your creative gifts, right? Your gifts, your talents, your expertise, your wisdom, even those things that make you really different, maybe your personality quirks, right? That actually is, well, that's another episode, but that's part of your secret ingredient. So what I know is that it's tough right now, right? It's tough. And when you are starting your own business or when you've been in business for a long time, like I have, either way, it's essential to look at how can you bring more joy into your business. So, to me, joy is, I look at it like it's a compass. Like I have always got to be being pointed towards joy because running a business takes a whole lot of energy. And it has to be a lot of self-generated energy, right? You're not meeting somebody else's deadlines. You're not meeting, when you're in a project together and nobody else can move forward until you've done your part. That can happen as your team grows. But lots of times you feel like, you're the one generating all the energy. You're the one generating the deadlines. You're the one generating it all. And so your energy, having the energy to be able to generate that matters. And the way you generate that energy is to keep pointing your compass towards joy. All right, so let's talk about some different principles and ideas and strategies for all about joy, right? Joy in business. So the first one is to really be intentional and to purposely cultivate joy. Even with whatever's going on, even if your business is down, if it's up, if it's busy, life is feeling kind of rocky, there's still ways that you can cultivate joy, little joys, big joys, right? So what I'll say, first of all, is that sometimes doing what you love is one of the ways to have your compass pointed towards joy, right? That when you do the thing, whether it's facilitating, training, maybe you're in coaching or teaching, right? And you are in heaven, or maybe when you're a speaker and you're giving that keynote, right? You just feel like you're in your passion, you're in the flow, that's joy, right? Sometimes it can be that, I don't want to say that easy because it's not always easy to wrap your business around that. It takes practice, right? So joy, and let me just kind of open that up a little bit. Joy is another way of saying, your well-being, your happiness, your flow, your peace, that when you purposely cultivate your well-being, even in your business, that things will shift. I think so often we have this idea of the entrepreneur has to be hustling, grinding, and if they're not struggling and working hard and feeling kind of in angst all the time, right? And pressure, that somehow you're not doing it right, right? That's not how an entrepreneur does it. But actually, the new entrepreneur, this is how we do it, right? We do it by aiming our compasses towards joy. And that's what happened that's what happens when you're committed to a business where you are authentic and real, and a business that is vibrantly healthy and sustainable. You're going to want to point it towards joy. So joy shows up in what you do, right? Doing the work that you love, right? That's an easier way to kind of see how joy shows up, where you're using your talents, your strengths, your expertise, even your love and your passion, right? To help others in some way, right? That's what I call doing your soul work. And your soul work or your purpose work, your great work, that feels good, right? And when you feel good, you do good. It's so much easier to do good when you feel good, right? We always know that, right? Just like when you're driving your car, when you have a good song on the radio, you're listening to good music. I'm dating myself. And somebody goes and cuts in line from you, wants to cut in line. When you're feeling good, usually it's no problem, right? No problem. Go ahead, being generous, get right in front of me, right? When we're not feeling in the joy, that's when all of a sudden we feel the scarcity. No, you can't have my space, right? That's just one example. That shows up in your business too, right? When you feel good, you feel generous, right? And things start, there's an expansion energy that naturally happens. So to me, it is essential that as an entrepreneur, you really need to find ways to cultivate that joy, which we're going to talk about. How do you do that in a couple minutes? I want to bring up another part, which is, all right, we can find joy in doing the work that we love, right? Doing our passion, following our passion. But what about the rest of the business, right? The marketing, the selling, the tech stuff, maybe taking out the trash and organizing or bookkeeping, right? The stuff that might not always be our strengths. We might not really enjoy it, right? We don't want to do it, right? We just want to do what our passion is, right? This is why it's so important to keep pointing your compass towards joy, right? And cultivating joy, right? And the way you do it when you're doing something that you don't really love, that might seem maybe like for bookkeeping, that can seem kind of tedious, or it feels like a time waster. I want to be in my joy, right? I want to be in my passion. But here's the thing, the end result is where the joy is, right? And so you have to look for that joy in the journey that's going to get you to that end result. So with the bookkeeping, for example, having the clear financial picture, that feels really good, right? Feeling like you've taken back your power around your money, that feels good. Like you're being a good steward of your money, that feels very empowering, right? Or troubleshooting the tech issues, right? Maybe you're dealing with computer issues or tech issues, and you're trying to troubleshoot them yourself, or maybe you're hiring somebody to help you. That might not feel so joyful in the moment. I've been in so many situations where it's so frustrating to just figure out what you can't figure out, right, with your computer. But you stay the course, right? Because your compass is pointed towards joy, right? And that means that the joy is going to come when you start seeing things slipping into place, right? Your computer speeds up. You can find things that when you want it at your fingertips, right? All the things that start happening, you can easily connect, send out your emails, send out your marketing, show up on social media, do all those things when your computer is working smoothly. So the idea behind that is that the joy comes through sticking to the journey, and that the joy comes. Now, not everything is like that, right? You want to have joy in the moment. And sometimes it can, if you let yourself, it can be, I know bookkeeping is not my expertise, although I did take a semester of that in college before I switched over to marketing. But there is something satisfying about just giving yourself that time to do the things that need to be done to get your bookkeeping going, right? To get it organized. There's a sense of satisfaction that can happen with doing that. Or you hire somebody and just feel that sense of satisfaction because you know that it's handled, right? And you know, if you get audited or when your taxes come around, there's no surprises, right? There's a lot of ways to be able to come around and align with joy. So let me share another joy principle. And this is that joy is all about energy, right? All about energy. And when I work with my clients, I teach them about 7 different types of energy. And there's the common ones you might have heard of. Your physical energy, of course, we've all heard about that. How much physical energy do you have? Do you slow down by the afternoon and not have any energy left to be able to do your work? maybe that mental energy, right? The emotional energy. And then we have spiritual energy, environmental energy, social energy, financial energy. Those are the 7 energies. I do a whole episode on that. So check into one of the earlier episodes. But, paying attention to each of these different energetic power centers can make all the difference in you being able to grow your business. Because if your physical energy is down, you're not sleeping well, you're dehydrated, it is really hard to stay focused in the afternoon, right? When you start getting tired and sleepy. It's hard to write the sales page. It's hard to write that newsletter, right? If you're having a crisis of faith, you've lost your excitement about your purpose, or you've lost touch with it, then the shine kind of comes off your business, right? And that shine, that excitement, that passion is what pulls you through doing the things, right? Doing all the hard things, doing the things that might be more challenging, right? You won't always be a high 10 in every single area. But to me, it's like when you can look at those 7 energies, then you can pay attention to them and you can say, what needs my energy? Where am I high and feeling good and satisfied? Where is it working? Where is it not working? Where is something that I need to pay attention? Is your environment not supporting your success? For me, that was what has happened. I started spreading all over my place last year with my business, kind of growing all over. And this year I started off the year with pulling it back into my office, getting reorganized, creating these beautiful bookcases behind me so that I have an easy place to do my videos that feels really good. And I love it. Great lighting. I can leave it all set up all the time. That's called setting yourself up so that you can flourish, right? And joy, let me tell you, flourishing is a sign of joy in action, right? We know that you're in your joy when you are flourishing. All right. I want to also talk about another expression of joy, which is meaningful success, right? It's where you're like in your fullest joy, right? You can be in your joy of like the thing that you love to do, but we want like meaningful success where you get joy all around. And so, we've often heard of, people who want to make art. And so they quit their job and they're going to make art and they're going to be the starving artist, but at least they're aligned with their passion. I really believe that full-on joy is really about the whole kit and caboodle, if you will, right? It's about the whole enchilada. It's about all the depth of full, meaningful joy. So if you want to aim for that full expression of joy, you want to look at what does that mean for you? So that full expression of joy is I get to do my art and I get to make great money, right? I get to do my art and have this expressive time and I get to be supported, right? I don't have to live into the identity of that starving artist or the starving coach just because you're doing good work in the world. You can have that fuller meaning of joy, because what happens when you're in that fuller meaning of success and joy means that you're making great money and that you're contributing to your family, that you are creating money to keep your business going, right? To keep your work going so that you can keep on making a difference, right? Making great money means funding your dreams so that, the idea is that money can be part of your joy. It's okay. I think so often as conscious entrepreneurs, we have been told that making money, it's not the end goal. And so we shouldn't be focused on that. And that's not what the messages are really about. The messages are about, that's not the only thing, right? My clients, whenever I take a survey and I ask them to rank what's important, money shows up in the top 5. Doesn't usually show up at the top of the list unless they're having like an immediate crisis. Otherwise, they want freedom, right? Time freedom. They want creative freedom. They want flexibility in their schedule. I know when I first started my business, I wanted flexibility to be able to do work that I love and to be able to go to the kids' school, right? I wanted to be able to meet the bus at 4 o'clock or whatever it was, whatever school period they were in. So that becomes part of your definition of meaningful success. And that full definition is the full-on joy. All right. And so anyways, giving you full permission for it to be and about the money, right? Yes, and. All right. Another way of, one of the ways of cultivating more joy in your business is to really approach everything with a generosity mentality, right? And that means being in the flow of giving and receiving. And that when you give, because we all know when you give, right, it feels good. It feels good to give a gift. It feels good to give your talents, your expertise. It feels good to help someone with their business or help them in an emergency, right? Lots of times you're doing something that is easy for you. All right. So, but in these other areas, like sometimes, like what if you looked at taking that giving a joyful experience beyond just the thing that you do, but what if you made the joyful experience part of your onboarding, part of new clients being greeted? I went to a new doctor last week or week before, because I moved to a new area, and so it takes forever to get in to find a new doctor, family practice practitioner, and like the doctor was fine. She was pretty good, you know, but the front office was terrible, right? The whole experience was just not a good experience, not pleasant. I didn't feel seen. I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel cared about. It was just like, yeah, this is how we do it, whatever. You know, it didn't matter if I had a question. It didn't really make sense why they're doing it that way. So what if you pointed your joy, like creating a joyful experience for your clients when they come to you, right? That even getting the discovery questionnaire, getting onboarded in some way, being welcomed to your office, being welcomed into your business, even if it's a product, what if it was a joyful experience, right? Where they felt like they cared, that you cared, right? That they mattered. Now that is following your joy, right? And really having a generous mindset. All right. So here's another tool for amping up the joy in your business. And let me tell you, it's all about bringing on the gratitude, right? Gratitude. We hear gratitude all the time. It's almost become kind of a hum in the background, like the air conditioning fan, right? You don't even notice. Well, feeling gratitude, I just want to bring that out because gratitude, appreciation, they really are power tools. When you train yourself to look for what is going well, what is working, where is the goodness, the kindness, the beauty, the success that is all around you, that you can take pleasure in that that starts opening up the joy. And it can be anything from something small like seeing the first crocus bloom of the season, right? To somebody making you dinner on a Friday night when you've had a really super busy week. Or maybe you feel supported and you're feeling really grateful because you have this great team and they have your back during a new marketing campaign, right? The more you take time to pause and appreciate, the more your heart will expand. And that heart energy, oh my gosh, that heart energy is 50 times greater. The electromagnetic field is 50 times greater than the electromagnetic field of your mind. That means that people can feel your heart energy, right? It makes a difference for yourself, for your family, for other people who are around you. It makes a difference. And when you change your heart energy, it changes other people's energy. And so you start changing the room when you walk in with that kind of appreciation and joy all around you and really emanating from you, right? So here's the other thing is that when you cultivate this joy, I know that joy and creativity are linked, right? So when you feel joy moving through you, and it starts in your heart and starts moving out through your hands, right? That you want to be the one. I can't wait to cook that really healthy, great dinner tonight, or maybe to do your art or to write music, right? The creativity wants to flow out of you. You have so much more reserves to help your kids with their homework, right? You have more reserve to say, you know what, I think I'll actually clean the car this weekend, just thinking of my own situation. When you're in your joy, it's easier to write emails and create TV shows and podcasts, right? Because it opens up your creativity so that things start to flow, the ideas start to come. And so cultivating joy in one area, like through appreciation and gratitude, and maybe painting or giving yourself some time to do something creative, strum on the guitar. I have a client who keeps his guitar nearby, strums on the guitar for a while, and it makes it so much easier to write emails, create his podcast, things like that. So being in your joy opens up your creativity in so many ways. Also, being in your joy opens up your confidence. So studies have shown that when you are happy at work, when you are joyful at work, that you feel more confident, right? It just naturally raises our bar for taking risk, right? Putting ourselves out there, being vulnerable and not being worried about what everybody thinks, right? And so we're more likely to take risk. We're more likely to fill out the RFP as a request to speak somewhere, right? We're more likely to say, yes, I'm going to jump in and film that video. So it's that's one of the benefits of being in your joy is it opens up your confidence so that the things that maybe felt hard yesterday feel so much easier today. All right, being in your joy also opens up your intuition. And your intuition is an essential ingredient for having success in your business. You can't always keep looking outside for the answers. Yes, you want to look outside for some expertise, people to support you, your coaches, but you also need to cultivate a healthy sense of your own intuition so that you can decide for yourself, do I like that advice? Does it align with what I want to do, how I want to show up in the world? You want to have access to greater ideas and inspiration that go beyond your own self. So that's something I work a lot with my clients on, is opening up that intuition, because that brings in a whole flood of ideas, a whole flood of inspiration that is beyond what you would imagine on a regular day, right? And so that opens up joy in a whole new way, and that will help shift your business and grow your business, and maybe in a way that you hadn't even thought of. All right. Why, thank you so much for being here today. And if you're curious about any of my other things that I have workshops and coaching and private coaching and programs and things like that. You can go check that out on joyfulbusiness.com. All right. Thanks so much. Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are 2 powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.